15,000 feet above Uganda, with the mighty Nile River winding its way right up to Egypt. I should have been excited, but I was terrified. We just crossed well and truly into rebel territory. From up here, so peaceful. Down there, terror and conflict. The soldiers, innocent children.
Okay, we've just passed the Karuma Falls. That was one of the blood spots. Lots of killings used to take place. Rebels would take advantage and just blow up buses and lorries.
I'd read a bit about the rebel group, the Lord's Resistance Army, or LRA as they're known. For 19 years they terrorised northern Uganda, abducting children from villages, turning them into child soldiers, torturing them, burning their homes, and forcing them to either kill their own parents or be killed themselves. Looking at the pictures of my own family, it was impossible to contemplate.
Hello, James, nice to meet you. I'm Guy.
I'm Michael.
Nice
Welcome,
to meet
Guy.
you, Michael. I'm Guy.
Okay, then we get going to the car and we move to the center.
Why you guys never told me you had a Bob Geldof on board?
We were on our way to the Children of War Centre, a safe place where those child soldiers who'd somehow managed to escape the terror of the LRA are rehabilitated. I had no idea what to expect, but it certainly wasn't this. I couldn't believe that these children had all been abducted and brutalised by the most feared army in the region. These traumatised kids were some of the child soldiers of Uganda.
When children go through abduction, a child is subjected to a lot of psychological and physical trauma. Forcing a child to kill, forcing a child to burn homes, forcing the little girls to be abused. Any little mistake you do with the rebels, you are beaten. If you make a small mistake, you are killed. Or you participate in killing people who make mistakes. So the life of the child is destroyed from the normal life to another life.
I can't describe how I felt as the horrific story unfolded. Once abducted, the kids are marched for weeks through the bush to the rebel training camps. Many die of thirst or starvation along the way. Those who become too weak to travel are tortured and killed. The rebel commanders forcing the children themselves to commit these heinous acts. The kids we were seeing at the centre were the lucky ones. The ones who'd escaped. The ones who'd survived.
This is our counseling center. Now you see this staff who are working here. These are the counselors, like they're working. Every child has information. They're documenting the child. Now, part of the therapy we do is drawing pictures to help the children explain what they have gone through. Now, if you see this picture, this is LRA soldier.
Yeah.
They're shooting down trucks on the road. When a child has just come from captivity, you give that child a paper and pencil to draw. A child will draw the scene of his abduction, a scene where somebody is being killed, a scene where there was a big fight, a scene where they are burning homes. That shows that the child's mind is still suffering. Where? In the bush. Now, after that child has stayed for 2-3 weeks in the center, you give the same child paper and pencil. And if the child is recovering well, he will begin to draw pictures of the environment. Pictures of the gate. Many children have drawn the picture of the gate because that's where they have entered through. That means they are recovering from the pain in the bush to the present.
I had no adequate words, but didn't need them. The children's artwork said it all. An estimated 36,000 kids have been abducted by the rebels so far. Incredibly, over 11,000 of those children have now been repatriated through World Vision. And what they're doing is clearly working.
May you tell us a riddle?
A riddle?
A riddle? Yes. Do you have any riddle? We can buy.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
What pingo when on your pingo? For the fear of being grabbed.
For the fear of being grabbed? No.
The answer was all too telling. Abduction is part of everyday life, and yet they could still share my lame joke.
To get to the other side.
The first thing we do is to show that child that we love the child. We love. We help the child to understand and appreciate that he has been forced by another passion. He has done things which he would not do under normal circumstances.
All a mere word, a smile to the child, a small joke, maybe a small bite that you've given to the child, that helps so much.
In the bush, any mistake you make, you are beaten. If they think you want to escape, you are tortured or killed. 2 of my friends were chosen by the rebels to be sentenced to death, and I was forced to kill them.
Part of me wanted to run away as far as I could. But this was real. This story needed to be told.
These are children born in captivity. The mothers were abducted when they were very young, and they had been, the mothers had been abused by rebels. So these are the children that had been born. Many of them were born while the mothers were still in the bush.
Wow.
But they now live in the center. We have to teach them, give them a kindergarten lesson, and they live with the mothers, and finally they'll go home.
Our first day in Gulu, my emotions were running wild, and it wasn't over yet. All these kids had escaped from the LRA. They were safe here in the centre. But what about the kids in the surrounding villages? When night falls, the abductions continue, and hundreds of kids have to seek a safe haven. They are known as the night commuters, and tonight, I was about to become one of them. It was dusk in Gulu, and we were on our way to a village about 5 kilometres outside town. For the kids here, sunset brings real danger, because under the cloak of darkness, the rebels can attack.
Some of the areas where
Night after night, terrified parents do the unimaginable. They send their children away to town to prevent them from being abducted. Children as young as 5 walk for kilometres, often on empty stomachs, and in constant fear that they may never see their families again. These children are the night commuters.
this is one of the children. As he explained, she goes to sleep every night.
When it gets dark.
When it's getting dark now, children are preparing to go away to sleep in town because they fear when the rebels come, they abduct them, they take them to the bush. And the rebels train the little boys to be soldiers, and little girls like this are given away to the commanders as sex slaves.
For me, it's really hard to understand how this can happen, you know, how they can be sex slaves, how they can be kidnapped, how they can be abducted.
It's a big issue that we continually appeal to the international community to support the country so that children get maximum protection.
Yeah.
So that children who are vulnerable like this are also supported so that they live.
As if things aren't tough enough, Rachel and her siblings are a child-headed household. The rebels killed their father not long after their mother had died. They moved here to be near their auntie.
Every evening when the children leave home, I am fearful. Will they reach town? While I am here, the children could easily be abducted. They might be dead. How would I know? It's painful. All I can do is pray for them. Only when I see them come back in the morning, will I know they are safe.